In Croatian history, there are many interesting stories and upheavals that shape our identity. One of the most intriguing stories concerns the death of King Zvonimir, a ruler whose name still evokes pride today. However, although he was both our and a European dignitary, Zvonimir may have been killed by a Croatian hand. King Zvonimir, chosen at a pivotal moment in Croatian history after the previous ruler, Peter Krešimir IV, was captured by the Norman army from Italy. The Croatian noble elite, faced with external threats, selected Zvonimir as a strong and capable leader. He had already been the Ban of Slavonia and established strong political ties with the Hungarian royal house through marriage to Jelena, the daughter of the Hungarian king. These ties were not only familial but also strategic, as they positioned Croatia at the crossroads of Central European and Mediterranean interests. Zvonimir, following the example of his predecessors, sought confirmation of his authority from the highest spiritual authority of the time, the Roman Pope. Pope Gregory VII, known for his ambition to unite Christian Europe in a common crusade to the Holy Land, recognized Zvonimir as an ally. By crowning him in 1075 in Solun, the Pope's envoy not only acknowledged Zvonimir's rule, but also made Croatia part of the great European community of Western Christianity. This coronation was a historic moment. Croatia became a recognized part of the European West, and Zvonimir became the Pope's vassal, obligated to lead an army in holy wars at his summons. This is where the legend that would accompany Zvonimir's name for centuries begins. Around the year 1090, when Pope Gregory VII reached an agreement with the Byzantine emperor for a joint campaign against the Seljuks, an invitation was also extended to Zvonimir. Envoys read the Pope's request before the gathered nobles in Knin, the royal city at the time. Croatia was to send an army to the distant east to help liberate the holy places. However, the Croatian elite, aware of the dangers and the distance of this endeavor, were unwilling to sacrifice their people for foreign interests. They refused the Pope's call and, according to legend, turned against their own king. According to that story, Zvonimir was killed by his own nobles because he wanted to lead them into a foreign war far from their homeland. This version of events was later used as a justification for the loss of Croatian state independence and the centuries-long suffering of the people. Hungarian kings, referring precisely to that alleged sin, claimed the right to the Croatian throne, arguing that the Croats, as a people who killed their king, no longer deserved independence. However, modern historiography often questions this interpretation, considering it part of political propaganda and an attempt to justify foreign domination. After Zvonimir's death, the dynastic crisis further shook the country. Since he left behind only a daughter, Claudia, who had no right to the throne, space opened up for the legitimate claims of the Hungarian Arpads. The Croatian elite did not want to accept a foreign dynasty, but they also could not reach a lasting agreement on a new domestic king. The result was a 15-year civil war, the consequences of which shaped the future of Croatia. In the end, the Arpadović family was allowed to rule by compromise, but among the people, doubt and bitterness remained, expressed in songs, stories, and legends. The document known as Pacta Conventa, around which fierce scholarly debates were held, symbolized an attempt to preserve Croatian statehood within the new state union. The story of King Zvonimir, his death, and the consequences of that death remains to this day a powerful reminder of the weight of historical choices, the price of Croatian statehood, and the complex relations among peoples. It is also a call to reflect on how myths, songs, and history together shape our collective consciousness and identity.